Hi students, so in electrostatics you have again an excellent topic, capacitors in parallel. So it's an important 3-mark question, that is paragraph question, paragraph answer, or it may be also be asked in detail answer. So derive an expression to determine the total or the net or effective capacitance when capacitors are connected in parallel. So in our earlier class we saw how to find the total capacitance when capacitors are connected in series. Now in this class we will be discussing about how to find the total capacitance when capacitors are connected in parallel. So derive an expression to find the total or net or effective or resultant capacitance when capacitors are connected in parallel. Right. Now let me consider 3 capacitors. You can connect any number of capacitors. So for the sake of convenience of derivation, let me just stick to 3. So let me consider 3 capacitors connected in parallel. Now whenever you want to connect components in parallel, I already told you in the earlier class, draw them one below the other. So it will be easier for you to draw the circuit diagram. Okay. So capacitor 1. Little bit smaller, right? This is the left plate and this is the right plate. Capacitor 2, left plate and right plate. Capacitor 3, left plate and right plate. Let C1 be the capacitance of the first capacitor, let C2 be the capacitance of the second capacitor, and let C3 be the capacitance of the third capacitor. Now whenever you connect capacitors in parallel, in series combination, the interconnection should be like this. Right plate of the first should be connected to the left plate of the second. Right plate of the second should be connected with the left plate of the third, and so on. The interconnection should be between the opposite plates. But in parallel combination, similar plates, similar terminals have to be connected together to form a common junction. Which implies I have to connect all the left plates of the capacitor and form a common joint. Okay, I'm going to do that. So take a connecting wire, connect the left plates of all the capacitors. Take 3 connecting wires and connect all the left plates and form a joint. Let me take it as A, a common junction A. So A is the meeting point of the left plates of all the capacitors. You can see all the left plates are connected together. And connect all the right plates together. So join all the right plates together. So similar terminals when joined together, I get parallel combination. So I get the junction point B. Now, but between these 2 junctions, let me connect a battery. So such a very simple circuit. Okay. So let V be the applied voltage or terminal potential difference of the battery, or simply battery voltage. And let Q be the charge supplied by the battery. In parallel combination, you have to remember 2 important points. Number 1, whenever capacitors are connected in parallel, voltage across the plates of all the 3 capacitors will be equal to one another and will be equal to the source voltage. It's just opposite to that what we saw in series combination. Series combination la charges same aarkum, voltages different aarkum. Parallel combination la voltages across the plates will be the same. And not only they will be equal to one another, but they will also be equal to the source voltage. Which means voltage across the plates of the first capacitor will be V, same as that of the source voltage. And voltage across the plates of the second capacitor is going to be the same V. And that across the plates of the third capacitor is also going to be the same V. But the charge what the source supplies will be divided among the 3 capacitors because their capacitances are different. So one capacitor may have an ability to store more charge, and one capacitor may have an ability to store a least amount of charge, and the third one may have a moderate capacitance. So depending upon the capacitances, source supply pandra charge, it will be divided among the 3 capacitors. Okay, so let Q1 be the charge stored by C1, let Q2 be the charge stored by C2, and let Q3 be the charge stored by C3. So most important point what you should remember whenever you deal with parallel connection, okay, is number 1, voltages across the components will be equal to one another and will be equal to the source voltage. Now this is not only applicable for capacitors, it's applicable for any components connected in parallel. Okay, right. And the charge, or in terms of current, the currents flowing through the components. Here it is capacitor. The capacitor doesn't allow the current to flow through because of an insulating medium. So it stores charges, right? So as far as capacitors are concerned, we have to say like this. The charges stored by the capacitors are different. Suppose instead of capacitors, if we have components which allow the current flow. So in that case, we have to say the current flowing through the components will be different, because current is nothing but flow of charges. Okay, right. So potential differences are different, and potential differences are same, but the charges stored by the capacitors are different. Don't forget these 2 points as far as parallel combination is concerned. Okay, right. Now among voltage and charge, whichever is different. So from that particular quantity, I will be starting my derivation to find effective capacitance of C1, C2 and C3. Which is different? You can see charges are different. Charges stored by the individual capacitors are different from one another. So let me start my derivation from the charge. Okay, so let me do it here. So the total charge Q supplied by the source will be equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. Let me take it as number 1. Now let me write Q1, Q2, Q3 in terms of C1, C2 and C3. Now how to do that? C is equal to Q over V. So this implies I want to replace Q's in this equation, right? So find what is Q equals. So C into V. So using this, let me rewrite Q1, Q2, Q3 in terms of C1, C2 and C3. Q1 is the charge stored by the first capacitor. So it should be equal to product of capacitance of the first capacitor, that is C1, and voltage across the plates of the first capacitor, which is nothing but V. Potential difference, voltage, both are same. Okay, right. Q2 can be written as capacitance of the second capacitor is C2 and its voltage is V. And Q3 can be written as capacitance of the third capacitor is C3 and the voltage across its plate is V. So C3 into V. Okay, right. Now let me substitute this over 1 in the terms of the 1 substitute panel. Therefore, the total charge Q is given by C1V plus C2V plus C3V. So V is common. Let me take it outside. I end up with C1 plus C2 plus C3. And you have Q in the left hand side. So let me take this as expression 2. Okay, now what is Q1? Charge is stored by the first capacitor. What is Q2? Charge is stored by the second capacitor. What is Q3? Charge is stored by the third capacitor. So what will be Q? It's the total charge stored by C1, C2 and C3 put together. Or it is the total charge stored by combination of the 3 capacitors. Or it is the total charge stored by total capacitance of the 3 capacitors. Combination of 3 capacitors refers to total capacitance of the 3 capacitors. So Q is again, Q1 is the charge stored by the first capacitor, Q2 is the charge stored by the second capacitor, Q3 is the charge stored by the third capacitor. And therefore, Q is the total charge stored by all the 3 capacitors put together, or in simple words, Q is the total charge stored by the combination of or total capacitance of C1, C2 and C3. So if I redraw the circuit diagram, okay, checking out C1, C2 and C3 from the circuit and introducing their total capacitance like this to the same battery. So let the total capacitance be C. Now since it's the total capacitance in parallel combination, let me put a letter P in the subscript. So C sub P. So let C sub P be the total capacitance of all these three capacitors put together. So CP, the total capacitance store பண்ற charge எதுக்கு ஈக்குவலா இருக்கணும்? Source apply பண்ற இந்த total charge க்கு ஈக்குவலா இருக்கணும். Which means the charge stored by the effective capacitance is Q and the potential difference between the two plates should be equal to V, same as that of the individual capacitors. Generally, the effective capacitance should do the same job as that of the individual capacitors in the circuit. Over capacitor would have an ability of developing source voltage. So, in the effective capacitance, it is single-handed source voltage develop பண்ணக்கூடிய tendency இருக்கணும். Point number 1. மூணு capacitors சேர்ந்து total charge Q store பண்ணிச்சு. And the effective capacitance should do that same job. It should be able to store the total charge Q single-handedly. So that's why I'm going to call it as a total or effective or resultant capacitance. So that's the tendency of a resultant capacitance, right? Okay. So now let me write the total charge in terms of the effective capacitance. So Q is equal to, using this. So total charge is stored by the total capacitance. So instead of C, I'll be using C sub P into the voltage V, where V is the voltage across the plates of the total capacitance. So let me take it as number 3. So substituting 3 into, you end up with CPV equals V into C1 plus C2 plus C3. So cancelling V and V, I get the effective capacitance C sub P is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. So thus, whenever capacitors are connected in parallel, the total capacitance is equal to sum of individual capacitances. So capacitors are parallel connect panna any number of capacitors. If I want to find the total capacitance, just literally add all the individual capacitances, you will get the net capacitance in the circuit. For example, if I consider numerical values as I did in series combination, say this is 2 farad and C2 is of 4 farad and this is of say 6 farad. Let us find what is the total capacitance if these three are connected in parallel. Okay, so in parallel connection, CP is equal to 2 plus 4 plus 6. So I'll end up with 2 plus 4, 6 plus 6, 12 farad. So C sub P is equal to 12 farad. Now if you look at the total capacitance and if you compare it with the individual capacitances in the circuit, the total capacitance is 12 farad and the individual capacitances are 2, 4 and 6 farad. Now among the individual capacitance, whichever is greatest, compare. So the 2, 4, 6, the greatest capacitance is 6. Total capacitance or value pathina, it is greater than the greatest capacitance in the circuit. So you can connect any number of capacitors in parallel. And if you find the net capacitance, its value will always be equal to, its value will always be greater than the largest capacitance in the circuit, which implies the total capacitance will be greater than all the individual capacitances in the circuit. So remember this last point, don't forget. So in series combination, total capacitance will be smaller than the smallest capacitance in the circuit or will be smaller than all the capacitors in the circuit. Whereas in parallel combination, the total capacitance will be greater than the highest or largest capacitance in the circuit or will be larger than all the individual capacitances in the circuit. So thank you. That's all about capacitors in parallel. See.